Everybody, this is Tim Picciott with the Liberty Advisor, joined with John Snice and Economic Truth. And today we've got a breaking news. This is from the Unlimited Hangout. Whitney Webb had an article on basically Wall Street is trying to create a new asset class. And this new asset class is pretty much going to try to commoditize the entire world, take over Earth's resources. And we'll get into exactly what is going on here. But first, here's a little video that the NYSE, that's the New York Stock Exchange, put out about this new asset class that they are also in partnership with people like the Rockefeller Foundation and I forgot the other one is like the Intercontinental. Anyway, we've got the links. We're coming up. Let's watch this video right now.
We got whales.
The value of nature to life on Earth is visible everywhere. Healthy ecosystems produce clean air and water, foster biodiversity, regulate the climate, and provide the food on which our existence depends. Economists estimate the value of these ecosystem services at more than $100 trillion per year. And yet, they have been largely invisible to the financial system. Until now. The NYSE, in partnership with the Intrinsic Exchange Group, is filing listing standards with the SEC to introduce natural asset companies. Natural asset companies will be corporations that hold the rights to the ecosystem services produced by natural or working landscapes. These rights will be licensed from sovereign nations, private landowners, or companies with significant property holdings. The introduction of natural asset companies will allow institutional and retail investors to express their environmental protection investment thesis at scale and spur the capital formation necessary for the preservation and transformation of natural and working landscapes. Together, NYSE and IEG are working to bring natural assets into the financial mainstream, ending the overconsumption of and underinvestment in nature.
Well, isn't that just lovely? I mean, we got whales and birds flying and nature, and just a cover story for them trying to basically financialize the entire Earth's natural resources to protect ourselves from ourselves.
21, buddy. Yeah.
And that was the intrinsic exchange that I was tripping over earlier. So yeah, the intrinsic,
and it's hilarious. Intrinsic, they're playing on gold, right? Like how it's intrinsic value, and all the they're just trying to play with words and natural assets. Oh yeah, it's great. And as they said, private holders of property. Well, guess who owns a shit ton of agricultural assets in the United States?
Bill Gates.
What's it, Tim? Yeah.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, yeah.
And he's actually one of those big plots of lands he owns, actually not too far away from me in Arizona. And even when I was going to visit Josh in Puerto Vallarta, he was even building up this area that's a little bit north of there called Putamita, that he was the major owner of, and buying up all that place too. So it's you just cannot get rid of this guy no matter where he is. It's Hillary Clinton or herpes,
Well, I think it's probably called Punta, because isn't Puta something very bad?
I might be Puta. I don't know. I don't speak Mexican. I don't know. So Wall Street's I know it's Spanish. Wall Street's takeover of nature advances with launch of new asset classes from the Unlimited Hangout, a project of the multilateral development banking system, the Rockefeller Foundation, and the New York Stock Exchange. Recently created a new asset class that will put not just the natural world, but the processes underpinning all of life up for sale under the guise of promoting sustainability. Last month, the New York Stock Exchange announced it had developed a new asset class and accompanying listing vehicle meant to preserve and restore the natural assets and ultimately underpin the ability for there to be life on Earth. Called a Natural Asset Company, or NAC, the vehicle will allow the formation of specialized corporations that hold the rights to the ecosystem produced on a given chunk of land. Services like carbon sequestration or clean water. These NACs will then maintain, manage, and grow the natural assets they commodify, with the end goal of maximizing the aspects of that natural asset that are deemed by the company to be profitable. Though described as acting like any other entity, on the New York Stock Exchange, it is alleged that the NACS will use the funds to help preserve a rainforest or undertake other conservation efforts like changing a farm's conventional agricultural production practices. Yeah, as explained towards the end of this article, even the creators of the NACS admit that the ultimate goal is to extract near infinite profits from the natural processes they seek to quantify and then monetize. NYSE CEO Michael Blodgard alluded to this when he said the following regarding to the launch of NACS. Our hope is that owning a natural asset company is going to be a way that an increasingly broad range of investors have the ability to invest in something that's intrinsically valuable, but up to this point was really excluded from the financial markets. Framed with this lofty talk of sustainability and conservation, media reports on the move in outlets like Fortune couldn't avoid noting that NACS opened the doors to a new form of sustainable investment, which has enthralled the likes of BlackRock CEO Larry Fink over the past several years, even though there remain big unanswered questions about it. Fink, one of the world's most powerful financial oligarchs, is and has been a long corporate raider, not an environmentalist, and his excitement about NACS should give even most enthusiastic proponents pause if this endeavor was really about advancing conservation as is being claimed. And we will have this in the show notes at unlimitedhangout.com. The article then goes on by Whitney Webb to talk about how to create one of these NACs. We've got some diagrams here of what they're going to do.
Whitney Webb is fucking amazing. Like, she was doing stuff with COVID-19 too. Like, she has the inside scoop here.
Yeah, no, I've been very impressed every time I've heard her. I've heard her on Tinfoil Hat. She's been on Union of the Unwanted. She's in that. She's in the Telegram Union of the Wanted group that we're in too.
Okay.
Don't know that, and I didn't know this was her article.
I didn't know.
I don't think even you knew that this was her article until when you first sent it over, because originally there was another outlet that we saw this on. But yeah, it's just absolutely insane. They've also, partnered with, we don't want to make this like a huge drawn out video, mainly because I also hurt my eye. And so it's like very hard for me. I'm like the Iron Man over here, Cal Ripken playing injured, playing hurt. And was reading that last article, actually, my right eye closed. But yeah, we got, our, New York Stock Exchange and the Intrinsic Exchange Group I keep wanting to say ICE because that's like the Internet Continental Exchange Group, partner to launch a new asset class to power a sustainable future. Then you've got, the New York Stock Exchange website talking about it on esgtoday.com. And then we've got the intrinsicexchange.com with all these links. You guys can, look at all this stuff.
Then me and Tim just found out by talking the other day, like UMFIF is talking about this as well. Like, there's so many groups, like all these interconnected.
Nobody knows what that acronym means or stands for or what that group is. So you gotta explain. You're just glossing over some of these things.
Anyways, it's like, damn it, Tim, you caught me off guard here.
All right, well, you caught everybody out. Not ready. You're the one that brought it up, so don't bring it up. You didn't know what I'm talking about. The Intrinsic Exchange Group is pioneering a new asset class based on nature and the benefits that it provides. Yeah, and it's of course they got like all the marketing where it's just like a leaf with water droplets on it, and it's actually not that big of a website at all. And the partners right on their website: Rockefeller Foundation, #1, the Inter-American Development Bank, Aberdare Ventures, which I should go look into them. I don't know who they are. They've got the WWF on here. It's a World Wildlife Foundation, which was, I think it's like a big like Prince Charles, and like these are the guys
Prince Charles was.
These are the guys who are like actually like doing the raiding, like killing all these animals.
Yeah.
But then
UMFIF was official monetary and financial institution for. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, it just rolls right off the tongue. And the thing I was wondering, like back in the day when I was really young, I'm like, how does the World Wildlife Foundation go to court and beat the WWF? I mean, I was, probably like 12 when I was wondering this, but now I know because, WWF is like a big globalist thing to, where they get to like parade around thinking that they care about, like giving the illusion that they care about the economy or not the economy. Yeah. Like ecology, I guess, the environment, when really they don't.
Like, and the thing is like, oh yeah, we're going to take over conventional farming and then make it into this utopia of like, even organic farming is garbage. Like real farming, actually, like it's no-till farming. Like actually our good buddy and our puppet master, Arthur Diamond Hands, he knows everything about, real good farming. And I'm actually trying it out this year as well. So like the thing is like, they're trying to portray it as this like, oh, we're gonna save the world with this sustainable farming movement and all this stuff and these economic sustainable goal. No, what is that acronym ESG again? I damn it, Tim.
Is it
I always forget
environmental?
about environmental sustainable goals or something like that. Yeah, and that is like pushed forward at everywhere in this UMPEF group and wherever you go. Like basically, it's talking about the economic sustainable goal because they've all been polluted by the
Environment. It's environmental, social, and corporate governance. So I mean,
Oh, okay, we're totally off.
yeah. Yeah, it's getting late. It's like the third video in a row we've done. And this one, it is, I'm not painting out to be the expert on this because no one's the expert on this because they just announced this. But I haven't heard anybody else talking about this. And the thing is, it all kind of plays into like Agenda 21, and we've all seen the maps. I got it here on the screen now, where they different like wildlife areas where a lot of it they want to just basically cordon off and block people out. And then of course, this is all a big scam
and put everybody in cities and create metropolitan areas. What's funny here in Winnipeg? They're just talking about Winnipeg metropolitan, like the metro area now. Like that's their big and this brings into the smart cities and all their totalitarian control grid, basically. Like it just brings it back. Like they want to take over all the actual functional land that you could make something out of, all the productive land that's out there, and then they want to turn it on you and they want to get rid of you, like push you into cities, basically what China tried to do with their ghost cities but failed at. Like they're trying to do that with everybody here, pushing them to cities so they're more governable, right? And that's what it's all about. If you read like Our Common Future with Roland Brundtland, she was the one that started this whole thing. Norway was the first country that implemented a carbon tax in 1992, and look at how great that has been. Like Norway is actually like their carbon emissions are up. They're trying to carbon emissions per person is down, but well, it's up because of you got way more people now. So like all this like bullshit that's going on with the United Nations and this ESG goals and all stuff, it's all for financial gain. And Tim, let's look into this ESG movement. Like we talked about the NACs, we talked about what's going on there with them basically trying to create like taking over land and then owning it. One last thing I want to talk about is I recently talked to a friend of mine who is a former World Bank guy, and he was telling me about like how I forgot where it was. I think it was Angola. But after there was a civil war there, like they destroyed this whole forest area, like massive forest area in Angola. And there was a forest area that was actually kept up pretty good. Guess what, Tim? It was privately owned. And so basically the World Bank wanted to give a loan to then take over this privately owned property to make it government owned, land. And this guy was like, well, why would I want to do that? Like, it looks like this corporation is clearly taking care, or this private entity is clearly taking care of the forest way better than the government. And so he was actually put up with the higher ups and told like, yeah, you should never do that ever again, kind of thing. So that just tells you like where they're at with, their idiocracy. It's all about controlling, owning, assets for these government entities.
Oh, without a doubt. And let us know in the comments, because I just came up with this right now on the spot, a new ESG right now on the spot. Well, John, I was like going to try to interrupt him because I thought it was so good. There's two versions of this. I'm not sure which one I like better, but ESG, I got one. So the other one was, what was it? We just said it was environmental, social, corporate governance. How about environmental scams by corporate government, or environmental scams by corporate government? So I'm not sure if I like economic scams by corporate government or environmental scams by corporate government, but either way,
I think both of them are equally good, to be honest with you. I love them both.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. I just came up with that right now on the spot, and actually this whole video is something we just sort of came up with on the spot. But one other thing that's important to tie into the ESG scam that we've been talking about is, and I haven't seen anyone else do this before, but if you take a look at, type in ESG funds, and I found one that was like, oh, BlackRock's top ESG funds, and I just went and clicked on the very first one. It's the iShares,
the big one,
ESG.
right? Like is that by size or?
I don't know what this. I just typed in.
It's just top. Okay.
Yeah, it's just their top. It's by sustainability.
It's by scoring. Okay. Yeah.
Sustainability ratings, and so then I went over to Morningstar. Went to go into their portfolio fund screener. Down at the bottom, drum roll please, motherfucking Microsoft is number one, holding a 12.5% portfolio weight. Oh, that's such. Yeah.
12%. Yeah, it's that is unbelievable. You know, like I'm Bill Gates. That's fucking idiot. You know, like when does it become more obvious, guys? Like, come on, how much? Oh, I'll tell you, that's the highest scoring one. Like,
that's the top. That's the top holding
Yeah.
in their fund is Microsoft. Number 2 is Nvidia. I mean, they make fucking like graphics cards and like all
for
sorts of
crypto mining.
like rare earth minerals.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
crypto mining. That is also.
Well, it's like a whole bunch of like basically people extracting things from the ground. It's like
the Home Depot, which is like people building
like
shit.
Home Depot. They're probably like the biggest consumption-driven business in the world.
And then in order to fund that consumption, the next two, you can't even make this up, would be Visa and MasterCard. So, so
Visa, MasterCard. Like, well, I guess, like you got, who was it? Visa, I think it was MasterCard that had that economy, like the carbon based credit card. Remember that?
Yeah. We have talked about that before in the past. But yeah, continuing on here, then we've got Adobe. Okay, I guess they're not doing too many bad, but the thing is, they're not doing like anything really great to promote, environmentalism.
Who's Thermo Fisher Scientific?
Is that no? That's Texas Instruments. I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I thought they're like I don't even.
Salesforce and Coca-Cola.
Salesforce,
Coca-Cola,
and Pepsi. Then Pepsi's right after that. Eli Lilly, Verizon, PayPal, Danaher, McDonald's. Fuck.
There you go, Texas Instruments.
There's Texas. Yeah, there. There we go.
And that's like the tax software or accounting software. Like,
yeah, I think they just bought Mail. I think they just bought MailChimp as well. AMD, Morgan Stanley. Go fucking figure. Starbucks, yeah, I'm sure making all those beans everywhere, all around the world. That's really environmental sustainable. Caterpillar, Applied Materials, Amgen.
You gotta be fucking kidding me! These guys are hilarious. At least they're humorous, they got together.
Well, they got Deere on here too. Micron Technology. Yeah. I mean, these are all Sherwin fucking Williams. Like a paint company whose logo is, which actually I love this, and nothing against people who work there. Their logo is, I love how it's like an earth with being covered in fucking paint.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So let's see. Sherwin.
Oh, is that TSX companies?
Yeah. So look at it.
Just go back for it. Yeah.
But yeah, here we go. Cover the earth. Like literally, their logo. Their logo is cover the fucking earth. Well, it's cover the earth, and it's the earth getting covered in paint. And this is like a big holding in an ESG fund. Sorry, what were you saying?
What the fuck is SVP? Well, I guess that's their name. But like, look at Tim. Look at here. Who do I see? Oh, Chubb. Like these are companies that are the most fucking intensive in using commodities.
Major financial service company.
Well, Chubb Edwards. Chubb is a massive user of copper and everything. Like TSX companies, like that's the Toronto Stock Exchange. Tim, the Toronto Stock Exchange is ridden with fucking miners that are extracting everything from the fucking ground. Like you gotta,
Waste Management Incorporated, so a fucking trash company is gonna be.
They're recycling, Tim. Come on, they're recycling. Come on, don't give them a break, okay?
More technology companies.
Eaton, like these companies are fucking electrical. Eaton is a massive electrical and automation company.
Air Products and Chemicals.
This is amusing.
Regeneron, fucking Moody's, Humana, NXP, Semiconductor Inc. Yeah, I mean nothing says environment sustainable like having to dig up rare earth minerals. Vertex Pharmaceuticals, some other stuff I haven't heard of. Dollar General worked.
Well, so what is Dollar General? Is that your dollar stores?
Yeah, which actually they raised the prices to a minimum of
$1. And they sell the most toxic crap, for fucking cheap at those stores. Okay, yeah.
Diamond Property Group, so one of the largest property group owners in America is on the list.
Fuck, man, this is amusing. This is like stand-up comedy for economics.
AIG, BNY.
Oh yeah, AIG.
Can't forget AIG. Microchip.
Can't make this shit up. Microchip technology. Okay, yeah. Lululemon. You know, their pants are all petroleum fucking products. Most of them, anyways.
Newmont Corp. That's not the Newmont?
Yeah, that's one of the
mining,
biggest miner. I'm pretty sure, Tim.
let me look this one up just while
Yeah.
we're if you want to kill some of the other. Yeah, it is. It's fucking Newmont. It's the largest gold reserve base in the industry, underpinned by a fucking Newmont Corporation. Like
well, I guess, you know, like, depends on how much money you pay to these guys. You get put on the ESG fund, I guess. You know, like, it's cash. How much cash do you have? Fuck.
and the thing is, I mean, there's stories too where, I mean, basically, and then, I mean, also, I mean, you had also pointed this out too, when it gives the little sustainability funds scores. I mean, it gives them these little like World Bank fucking emblems over here.
Very much looking like.
Yeah, so here's the World Bank logo. I mean, other than the fact this one's blue, so sort of like, it's like almost like if you took like the new World Bank with the old World Bank logos and put them together, and that's sort of what you get. And then there is like all these stories too. Of course, we're on DuckDuckGo. Fuck Google. We're not using them. And it just goes out like AXA rebrand. And the former head of AXA was Henry DeCastries, who was the Bilderberg steering committee head several times. Klaus Schwab was as well. So they've rebranded several funds. BlackRock rebrands or impact funds, ESG.
Tim, we need to rebrand whatever funds you have. If you have any, we got to rebrand them ESGs. How much do we have to pay? Hey, Klaus, how much do we have to pay, Klaus? Give us some.
There was one company like a month ago that literally rebranded like 95% of their funds as ESG. I think it was Lockerbie was the one that rebranded.
Oh yeah, I think that's what you said to me.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, either way, lots of people are just saying, but I think it's all a scam. I know Charlie Robinson recently did an episode on this, but he didn't actually go into like the underlying companies. And so I was like, oh, damn it. Like, it was such a great episode aside from that, but you got, Tim and John taking care of you guys. And the thing is, let's not also forget, getting back to what we were talking about originally, is that they're trying to take over Earth's natural fucking resources. So let's not forget about that. And so obviously it's going to be like an Agenda 2030 thing, Agenda 21, where they try to, kick us off the land, put us in the small communities. The ones who don't want to get the shot, you're going to be, going out to the train cars, off to your, government isolation camps. And the thing is, it's all like tied in together. And the thing is, like, not only about the power and control, it's also about, just keeping everybody in line. It's about, us being slaves to this authoritarian class. But the thing is, we all have the power. So we have the power to, make moves with our own wallet to not, fund, obviously the bad guys over here. And it's just ridiculous. But I know in the interest of keeping this short, we did say we want to make about 20 minutes, a little bit over 20 right now. And we have, and then there's John's first
book, Make This Guy Rich. He's a globalist scumbag.
Yeah, so maybe try to find maybe a pirated version of it. Who knows?
Yeah,
I was actually thinking about buying that and the other one you talk about all the time. Anyways,
well, I bought his fucking book for $150, like global, the redesigned global financial infrastructure return of state authorities. Come on, like, you gotta give that. He has a job. He needs some money. He's fucking poor. Give him some money, that little scumbag. Sorry.
All right. John's had too much vino over there in Canada. But anyways, we love you guys. Please, like, share, subscribe. If you guys want to head to tim@johnshow.com, sign up for the email list. And then also that's where you can find the show notes for the things that we did talk about today. And we've got, a bunch of great episodes coming up for you guys. Later on, we've got a prediction show that's going to be out after this. We've got shows in the Federal Reserve, obviously. And then also on a lot of the jab tyranny, and some of them aren't going to make it on YouTube. So if you only watch this on YouTube, make sure to head to the other channels, because, and to be honest, the best stuff is not on YouTube. We've already had to take that down. We've already got strikes on my channel. So anyway, but it's not like it's really stopped us from, we're going at it hard. It's probably just stopped us from getting a lot of new subscribers. Obviously, one of the first shows I ever did that post on YouTube talking about like the Syria, false flag attacks that were going on at the time. So I'm sure, I was a marked man right out of the gates. But anyways, Tip Show with the Liberty Advisor, John Snyson, The Economic Truth. You can find him at theeconomictruth.org, and make sure to like, subscribe, and to, find us on alternative platforms and not just YouTube.
TheJohnShow.com.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Peace.